Jason Lee Podcast.
Welcome back to an episode of the Jason Lee Podcast. Whew. Listen, the election's around the corner, so we're going to cut the niceties and all the applause short. Thank you to everybody watching. Rob is out because he had a bad bitch procedure. HIPAA. I'm not going to spread his business. But Marina's here. We're here. Listen, there's so much going on. Again, the election is right around the corner. We are, I don't even know how many days. We're less than a week away before the election, the big day where Kamala Harris becomes the next president of the United States of America. And I become your next city councilman. Stockton, you know what to do. TikTok, do your thing. All right, listen, we are here, but we're going to cut through all of what I've been doing because I haven't been doing anything but campaigning and get straight to what you showed up for. It's the Tea with Jason Lee. Now, before we get into everything, let me tell you something. I know a lot of you are saying, Jason Lee is such a flip-flop. On Instagram, he attacks the president, vice president. On social media, he attacks them. On the show, he attacks. No, I don't attack. I address things when I have an issue with something. And I have to tell you, Miss Kamala Harris, the vice president of these United States, heard my criticism, and she did her big one. That's what they say. That's what the kids say. She did her big one. So I have to say, I have no issues with the vice president. My issue from the beginning was spend money with black-owned media, and just like you spend money with white-owned media and other media, and she's done that not only with me, but all of the other platforms. And so I have to say to the vice president, there ain't nothing like the president or the vice president hearing your call and showing up. That is why we need to have real leadership, not because she bought advertising for my company, but because when I needed her to show up to the Impact Awards, she showed up via video. When I needed to have access to her to have coffee to talk about how to build a stronger relationship with the White House administration, she did that. When I wanted to go to the White House, to her residence, to build a relationship with the administration, meet with CMS and HHS for my healthcare business, she's done that. And I want 4 years as a Stockton City Council member to have direct access to the President of the United States and build a bridge so that way I can rebuild my community. And you all are going to help make that happen because I voted happily and proudly for Kamala Harris, and y'all are going to show up for her too. This is not about her being a woman. It's not about her being black. It's not about anything other than she is the most qualified individual running right now. And if you did not see that rally in New York City, then you need to go watch that before you cast your ballot, because if you vote for that, I'm sorry, you can unfriend me, unfollow me, unwatch me, uncome around me, because if you support that, you're supporting racism. It isn't about, or fascism. It's not about supporting a Democrat or Republican, because I am a proud Blue Dog Democrat, and I am mad with the Democrats, and I am mad with the Republicans, and I'm like all of you just wanting to see change, but I'm not going to take that desire, passion, and anger out on Kamala because we're mad at Joe, mad at Barack, mad at the Clintons, mad at Bushes, mad at... I am mad, you are mad, but the way we are going to vote, all the millions of y'all, we're going to vote together to put somebody in office that isn't going to turn this into a country where we have a ruler dictating how we govern, removing our social media and our ability to connect with one another, or respect that we have for people who are not like us, meaning people from other countries, wanted to rewrite history and get rid of the books and schools and all those things to purify this nation. This nation was built on slavery. This nation was built on taking it away from Native Americans. This nation has been built on all of the problems that we face every single day, whether it's in education, whether it's in investments, whether it's in getting a job, DEI, whatever. It is still there. It's just called something different. Slavery, prison, same. So what I hope all of you do is somehow get out of this cloud that I don't understand how we are in, and do the right thing. Now, let me talk about what's going on with Mr. Donald Trump and Ms. Kamala Harris. The election is just a few short days away, and Trump's campaign is losing their marbles because this beautiful black, let me give her a round of applause, because let me tell you something. Beautiful black 60-year-old woman. Now, I know I look young for 48, but baby, 60 and up close and personal, Kamala's really pretty. By the way, Kamala, when you win, I'm going to bring you some Fenty perfume, because I don't know if you're allowed to wear perfume as a vice president.
Yeah.
Are you?
I don't feel like you're not.
Because I never really smell a scent. I mean, she smells like money. Not the money Donald You thought Donald sent you with them checks that the government approved. The election is just a few short days away, and Trump's campaign is losing their marbles, attacking blacks, Puerto Ricans, and other minorities. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris is getting $50 million donations from Bill Gates, having Beyonce pop up at an event in Houston for the campaign, joined by her mama Tina and Destiny's Child bandmate Kelly Rowland. Okay, I don't know where Michelle was. But anyway, Queen Bee had a lot to say. Ironically, she never talks, but this is what she said.
We are so happy to be standing here on this stage as proud country Texas women supporting and celebrating the one and only Vice President Kamala Harris. A woman who's been pushing for what this country really needs right now: unity. It's impossible not to feel the energy in this room, the positivity, the community, the humanity. We are at the precipice of an incredible shift, the brink of history. I'm not here as a celebrity. I'm not here as a politician. I'm here as a mother. A mother who cares deeply about the world my children and all of our children live in. A world where we have the freedom to control our bodies. A world where we're not divided. Our past, our present, our future merge to meet us here. Imagine our daughters growing up seeing what's possible with no ceilings, no limitations. Imagine our grandmothers. Imagine what they feel right now. Those who have lived to see this historic day. Even those who are no longer physically with us. Imagine all of their sacrifice. The sacrifices made so we can witness the strength.
Now, Beyonce is a big enough artist to matter when it comes to using her voice. And, you know, there's so much at stake for celebrities who decide to use their voices. Oh, my God, you're going to lose support. You're going to lose deals. People are going to attack you. I love the fact that Queen Bee showed her support for Kamala and did it in Texas, where she's from. Now, Beyonce is not a talker. You know, she's not one to give a lot of speeches unless it's thank you for the Grammy, thank you for this award, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so, you know, she didn't always pause at the right moments for the applause, but we're going to forgive her for that. The fact that she showed up, the fact that Kelly did a phenomenal job. By the way, I have said this to Kelly Rowland many times. I'm going to say it right now. Kelly, you have the most beautiful skin. Kelly is just hands down gorgeous. I love seeing them there, and I really love the relationship between Tina and Beyonce, and the fact that Tina was there as a mom to introduce her daughter, because, you know, Black maternal health is such a big issue in our community that Miss Kamala has been fighting for. And the fact that we still talk about women's bodies in this country like an animal, like we're having decisions made over them. I've said it even here with Marina on the show, like men just shouldn't have anything to say. Do you think Beyonce being there is going to have an impact with young girls?
I think anything like Beyonce, especially Taylor Swift, like those two, the fact that they've now chimed in, I think it matters. But I do feel like on both sides, all these celebs popping up like back to back to back is kind of giving like a Coachella lineup. And I just feel like it's a lot of celebs involved. But
I think I'll go ahead and say that, you know, the way I designed my nonprofit, Hollywood Cares Foundation, was because there are celebrities that care about issues. Right now, Beyonce is a mother of 3. Kelly Rowland is a mother, I believe, of 2. Mm-hmm. Tina is a mother of 2, well, and a half, because she claims Kelly, right? And then, you know, Solange is a mother. And I think that as women, I think they connect with the fact that one of the biggest things Kamala has been fighting for is maternal health, mm-hmm. the right for women to choose, and all of the rights of women in marginalized groups of people to be able to thrive. And how in celebrities like my nonprofit, you use them to bring attention to what you're doing so people can invest in it. So I get it, right? I'm glad that there was no twerking, because, you know, Kamala was attacked whenever Meg showed up twerking, mm-hmm. but Donald Trump is never attacked when people show up and do anything. And this is the double standard that I want to say. When you all want to talk about the most disrespected person on earth is the Black woman, protect Black women, where are y'all at now when this white man is able to do all the things that she could never do, that he could have never done. You all are giving him a pass, and it's a lot of us that look like them doing it. I don't understand it. Well, anyway, after 30,000 people attended Harris's H-Town rally, Donald Trump and his campaign felt salty and claimed that she lied to the media about Beyonce performing to fill the venue. Now, you know Trump has an issue with venue sizes and event sizes. Well, of course, he had to attack Beyonce. That later then turned into a whole song that I posted on Instagram. Take a listen.
Well, thank you very much, and a very big hello to... Well, thank you very much, and a very big hello to Michigan, which we're leading, by the way, by a lot. And I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible state with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. You know, last night my opponent had one of these, and they bust in people, but you know, they got Beyonce, and Beyonce, you know, Beyonce. They got Beyonce. So Beyonce went up, spoke for a couple of minutes, and then left, and the place went crazy. They booed the hell out of everybody. They thought she was going to perform. Now, I would have no interest in that, but they said, and what happened is my opponent got up and started speaking. They booed the hell out of her. It's crazy. So they have to use people to get people to come, and then they send buses. We don't send buses. Everybody comes. We're just going to make America great again. It's very simple. I thought I'd tell you that little story because you'll never hear it from the fake news. They don't talk about it. They wouldn't tell you stories like that. So I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? I think so. I think so. I doubt it. I doubt it. I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote in this election, we will end inflation. And you know what? It's we, not me. We will stop the invasion of criminals into our country.
Trump, you're a hater. And you know what's so crazy? Anytime I see a man built as bad as you are the biggest bad built, butch body, big ass, big old orange clown. Now, look, I know you're somewhere probably plotting on me when you get elected because we heard that you have a whole list of people that you're going after. And as much as I've talked about you, even though you were supposed to come on my show with Byron Scott, but you went through my Instagram and saw that I have a lot of opinions about you, you didn't show up. In many ways, you're a coward. You know, Kamala's showing up to Fox and Friends, and even though them Fox friends ain't her friend, she's still showing up, but we can't find you. And you had a lot to say about Beyonce showing up, but Beyonce, we didn't need her to show up and perform for Kamala because, Donald, we all went to the Renaissance tour and we saw her perform, and she filled up stadiums that you could never fill up. She filled up arenas that you will never fill up. And I think that is really your issue with Beyonce. Now, Trump's senior advisor, Tim Murtaugh, also slammed Harris on MSNBC for lying to build a crowd. MSNBC said 3 sources told them that Beyonce would appear with VP Harris in Houston and that she will perform. Sharing a news clip, Trump's senior advisor said this. MSNBC treated it as breaking news when the Harris campaign announced that Beyonce would appear and perform at a rally in Texas. The pop star did appear, but only spoke and did not sing. They lied to build a crowd. And they used an Uncle Tom house to tell that lie. Beyonce never said she was going to perform. In fact, if you remember before, Tina came out and said, my daughter's not performing. So I don't even know why you all have made it a thing, but I guess it's anything in order to distract the world from the fact that this man wants to turn America into a country where we don't have many rights. Another MAGA maniac, full of crap, is a guy that I saw him on that Netflix roast of Tom Brady. And I thought he was edgy and wild, and he did say some things that were highly inappropriate, but I thought he was funny. Well, he said some stuff at this event. He opened up at the Trump rally in New York, trash talking black people and all of you Trump loving Latinos. Don't believe me? Listen.
Heck yeah, it's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that, a lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome. Welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this. It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies, too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country. Is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay.
While Trump and his cronies abandon and insult Puerto Rico, Harris has reached out to Puerto Ricans with her proposed opportunity economy plan to invest in Puerto Ricans' future. Take a look. Now, in her plan, she talks about many things like launching a federal task force to rebuild and revitalize Puerto Rico's economic strength determined by the Puerto Rican people. Rebuild and modernize Puerto Rico's energy grid to ensure that they have reliable access to electricity. And she goes on and on and on to talk about things like expanding bilingual education and literacy and invest in Puerto Rican artists and creators. Well, Kamala's running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, also slammed Tony Hinchcliffe on a live with Puerto Rican New York Congresswoman Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. Take a look.
I don't follow
look,
this
Trump,
like
this
crew
issue
very
with Puerto
closely,
Rico
but-
again. I saw it. This was when he went down after Helene, the horrific hurricane, people there, everybody coming together. We sent helicopters down from Minnesota and personnel. You know, this is how you do this during this. And in the first hours, Trump complaining about the response. Does anybody remember how he responded to Maria in Puerto Rico? It was absolutely horrific. Down there insulting people, throwing it. Look, I know that the folks who are on here today understand this. People in Puerto Rico are citizens. They pay taxes and they serve in the military at almost a higher rate than anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, it's like super upsetting. Obviously, it's super upsetting to me. My family is from Puerto Rico. I'm Puerto Rican. And like the thing that is so messed up that I wish more people understood is that the things that they do in Puerto Rico are a testing ground for the policies and the horrors that they wish to, and that they do unveil in working class communities across the United States. And I need people to understand that when you have some a-hole calling Puerto Rico floating garbage, know that that's what they think about you. That's just what they think about you. It's what they think about anyone who makes less money than them. It's what they think about the people who serve them food in a restaurant. It's what they think about the people who fold their clothes in a store. Like,
You're
dude,
right.
are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah, the privilege of being on this campaign is traveling across the entire country. There are hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans in battleground states that need to send them a message.
Why would any Puerto Rican support Trump?
That's what I'm saying. At this point, like, I'm from Chicago, Humboldt Park. It's like all Puerto Ricans. I don't see that many in LA, but the pride, especially for Puerto Rico, is so deep. And to do that in this type of like tight race is just, that's the biggest fuck up ever.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, said Americans can't take a joke. Listen.
I've heard about the joke. I haven't actually seen the joke that you mentioned, but I think that it's telling that Kamala Harris's closing message is essentially that all of Donald Trump's voters are Nazis and you should get really pissed off about a comedian telling a joke. That is not the message of a winning campaign. And most importantly, it's not the message of a person who's fit to be the president of the United States of America. I haven't seen the joke. Maybe it's a stupid racist joke, as you said. Maybe it's not. I haven't seen it. I'm not going to comment on the specifics of the joke. But I think that we have to stop getting so offended at every little thing in the United States of America. I'm so over it.
And the comedian that Trump says he doesn't even know, the one that opened up with all the racist rhetoric, he's now defending his jokes about Puerto Rico. This is what he said. These people have no sense of humor. Wild that a vice presidential candidate would take time out of his busy schedule to analyze a joke taken out of context to make it seem racist. I love Puerto Rico and I vacation there. I made fun of everyone and watched the whole set. I'm a comedian, Tim. Might be time to change your tampon. Well, that only brought Bad Bunny out to post to millions and millions of followers, Jennifer Lopez and other Puerto Rican superstars, to tell their people that we have to have pride and stand for protecting our country, Puerto Rico being a part of the United States. Which, why would you attack? You attacked Detroit, you attacked Puerto Rico, and that's why it's good to see Eminem and J-Lo and artists like Bad Bunny and everybody stepping out. I was really surprised that Dr. Phil came out of retirement. I think he retired his show. I don't know. Nobody watches anymore. Well, maybe if you're 92 years old. Dr. Phil, man, I liked watching your show, but I'm not going to watch it anymore. Why? Because you actually tried to slam DEI at a Trump rally. Now, I knew you all were friends, and I just didn't know that you had the cloak and hoodie on too. You know, not the one Trayvon Martin was killed in, the white one, that one. Listen to what Dr. Phil said about DEI.
Launched Merit Street Media, which, by the way, we didn't choose the name for that by random. Merit Street Media. This country was built on hard work, added value, and talent, not on equal outcome, not on DEI. This country was built on hard work, and it needs to continue to be built on hard work.
This country was built on the backs of slaves, just so you know, and that was after Native Americans were slaughtered in this country. And I know that there's just this desire to erase history and to erase the struggle that a lot of our ancestors have died from, and our families have lived through: slavery, Jim Crow, all those different things. But you can't change history. It is what it is. Even though Donald Trump wants to eliminate the Board of Education and change our books and bring in Christianity and all those weird things, right? You can't write off history. But more importantly, we can't allow history to be forgotten or rewritten, because if we are so caught up in TikTok and vaping and the things that don't keep us actively involved, we will lose democracy in our country as we know it. Dr. Phil, you're a DEI hire. Didn't a black woman give you the job? Because of Oprah Winfrey, we know you. And that's interesting that you forgot that. And Michelle Obama was on the other side with Harris, asking why she's the only grown-up in the race, and why she's being held to a higher standard than Donald Trump. I told y'all earlier, they holding her to a different standard than him. But isn't that the case in life? Listen.
She's filling arenas in a way we haven't seen for years. She's building a remarkable campaign in record time, dominating her opponent so thoroughly in the debate, he was too scared to face her again. And unlike her opponent, she's not ducking interviews or cowering in safe spaces only with fawning audiences. No, she's showing us what a sane, stable leader looks like. She's not losing her train of thought or stumbling over her words. And she's doing it all with vigor and with grace. That's because Kamala Harris is a grown-up. And Lord knows we need a grown-up in the White House. There are folks who say they're not sure about Kamala. They accuse her of not providing enough policy detail. Some wonder, do we really know her? Is she too aggressive? Is she not aggressive enough? There are folks sowing seeds of doubt about whether she's who she appears to be. Now, don't get me wrong. Voters have every right to ask hard questions of any candidate seeking office. But can someone tell me why we are once again holding Kamala to a higher standard than her opponent? I hope you'll forgive me if I'm a little frustrated that some of us are choosing to ignore Donald Trump's gross incompetence while asking Kamala to dazzle us at every turn. I hope that you'll forgive me if I'm a little angry that we are indifferent to his erratic behavior, his obvious mental decline, his history as a convicted felon, a known slumlord, a predator found liable for sexual abuse. All of this while we pick apart Kamala's answers from interviews that he doesn't even have the courage to do, y'all. In any other profession or arena, Trump's criminal track record and amoral character would be embarrassing, shameful, and disqualifying. I hope that you will forgive me if I am worried that we will blow this opportunity to finally turn the page on the ugliness once and for all. Because believe me, if Donald Trump is president again, at some point or another, that ugliness will touch all of our lives. And it will not matter what you look like, how you worship, who you love, or how you vote. If you don't make 6 or 8 or 12 figures, if you're not famous, if you criticize or disagree with him in any way, if he doesn't view you as his equal or relevant to his ambitions, I promise you, he will not think about you when he gets into the Oval Office. And that will have real consequences for all of us.
Look, I'm going to keep this wrap up very simple. Vote for Kamala Harris. That's it. Because if not, y'all all going to die. Bye. Well, I would say vote or die, but that's Diddy. And democracy or die. What we're talking about is less about red, blue, Democrat, Republicans. Do you believe in having democratic rights? Do you believe in the Constitution that he's already saying he wants to get rid of or he wants to change? I just pray that we as Americans can just wake up out of this fog. I feel like we're in the worst reality show ever. Doesn't it feel that way?
It's embarrassing.
I don't hate any of you that are Republicans or Democrats. I hate any of you that support Trump. So that is there. I said it. I'm not mad if you mad at me. And I'm not saying that to my fans. That's to my friends. My fans, y'all gonna like who you want. But if you listen to me and you trust me on this one, please just vote for Kamala Harris. All right. The Menendez brothers might be getting out of prison. And, who knows if they're getting out of prison because of people with money. Maybe because it's a district attorney election year. Because we know Gascon is up for re-election, and Kim Kardashian posted that they need to get out of prison or that they need to look at their case, and they did have a very compelling documentary and compelling movie on Netflix. Both of them I watched. Shower scene with the actor that played this one. We're at the same agency. Hi, cute ass. No, not sure I'm with the swirl just yet. I know you are.
That's
You
Rob.
swirling.
What? Oh.
You and Rob are the swirl.
No, Rob's crush is the shower scene guy.
Yeah, well, we're at the same agency. I can get him first.
Oh.
Either way, the Menendez brothers have been taking over the news cycle ever since Brian Murphy debuted his Netflix series Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. Now, I'm going to tell you, I watched the entire series in one day. Riveting. And I lived through the actual trial. They were on trial almost at the same time as O.J. Simpson. This is before we had reality TV. We didn't have Paris and Nicole Hilton off doing their thing with The Simple Life. This was reality TV. And this was when crime TV was born, that we started watching these lives of people who were just pure train wrecks. And we were all saying, oh my God, so glad we're not these people. Well, they may not be these people anymore, because even though they murdered their families, it looks like they may be getting out. The true crime documentary follows the story of the brothers who were convicted of the 1989 murders of their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez. Let me show you a photo of the family during happier times. Okay, this was the photo before they blew their heads off.
Oh, God.
Got it, blunt. Now, no, go back to the photo real quick. That dad, just to put in context for all of you who are saying they killed their parents, they should be in there, was fucking his children, and Miss Kitty Cat knew it, did nothing about it. And then I think she was doing some naked weird stuff with the kids too. And then they started having sex with each other. Whole family fucked up because of daddy here. Weirdo. And I ain't disrespecting the dead. I'm disrespecting a weirdo. Now, here's a photo of the brothers as of October 10th, 2024. Okay. Now, the one with no hair was the one that was in this thing losing all his hair. By the way, no matter when it was, you guys never looked as good as the actors that are playing you. So Ryan Murphy is having his whole life, because he's an older white gay, successfully gay man in Hollywood, that, he gets to cast who he gets to cast. I just hope it's, no funny business going over there, but he does a really good job of casting the most attractive people, because I'm going to tell you right now, the real reason why we're getting these guys out isn't just because we feel sorry for them. It's because those guys in the movie were hot and they created so much buzz, like to where social media has gone crazy. It's the fact that these guys killed their parents. Now, yes, they had a bad trial, unfair trial. And yes, they probably should have never went to prison, but they've been in prison so long. It's like, why now? Because we saw the movie. Well, following Ryan Murphy's Menendez Brothers series, Kim Kardashian has been advocating for them, like I said, and she's been talking about them getting out of prison. In early October, she even wrote a personal essay for NBC News. Kim Kardashian writing an essay. It's giving AI. I don't.
It's giving ChatGPT.
Right. It's giving like your nanny raises your kids. You get somebody to write your Kim Kardashian writes an essay. I didn't see that on Hollywood Unlocked. Well, anyway, she wrote it for NBC News.
Allegedly.
Ending her lengthy letter, she wrote, "We owe it to those little boys who lost their childhoods, who never had a chance to be heard, helped, or saved." Well, why don't you write that letter about Kamala Harris getting elected because of the lives that were almost lost at the hands of Donald Trump, who wanted to have them executed at Central Park 5? Well, at least you're doing something positive, Kim. I'm going to go ahead and not be a hater because, I was skimming through my notes. Get it? Skim?
Skims. Yeah, I got it.
I love that you're using your voice for a positive thing. On a red carpet weeks later, Kim Kardashian pled that the brothers again be freed. And she told Variety this. Listen.
Do you think they're going to get out?
I hope they're going to get out.
Why do you want them to get out?
Because I think that they never got a fair second trial, and I feel like ever since, for me, watching Ryan Murphy's Monster show, it really opened up and showed me so much about abuse, and I feel like they just never had that fair chance. And imagine if no one believed you. And the sentence that they've been in for almost 35 years, that's more than, a first-degree murder charge. So I think that to have life without the possibility of parole, without the possibility, to me, is so unjust and so unfair. And so I do believe that I'm someone that believes in second chances, and I really believe in them.
I mean, you got to give Kim some credit that she's now using her platform for good. And, I'm glad that she does have the influence to get people to pay attention. Now, joining Kim Kardashian and other social media users calling for the release of the Menendez brothers is now Los Angeles District Attorney. And his name is George Gascon, who recommends resentencing Eric and Lyle. Now, if you resentence them, they can get time served because they've served 34 years. Do you think they deserve another chance?
I do. I was never familiar with this case, and I obviously watched the special. I did my research, but I never even knew the Gypsy Rose case, but now that she's free and she's gone, out free, I feel like they should definitely.
But the difference is that Gypsy, who killed her mother, who was doing the whole abusive stuff to her, she did her sentence. She did her time. Their time is life. They just got an unfair trial because they went through trial twice, and they had a deadlock or a hung jury. Then the judge made them have a very unfair trial, and then they were found guilty. 34 years, recent time served. Okay, you kill both your parents, you're out.
Yeah, I feel like
but they're gonna write movies, get money, and they're gonna be rich.
Yeah, they should. They should be rich. They went through a lot. I agree with Kim. They had no childhood.
Mark my words and remember this, please, only because I never get enough credit for knowing what I'm talking about. Kim Kardashian later applauded the LA District Attorney for his resentencing recommendation. Gascon said this.
I have to tell you that after a very careful review of all the arguments that were made for people on both sides of this equation, I came to a place where I believe that under the law, resentencing is appropriate. And I am going to recommend that to a court tomorrow. What that means in this particular case is that we're going to recommend to the court that the life without the possibility of parole be removed and that they will be sentenced for murder, which, because there are two murders involved, that will be 50 years to life. However, because of their age, under the law, since they were under 26 years of age at the time that these crimes occurred, they will be eligible for parole immediately.
He said after a bunch of meetings. Now, I will say, I know that they met with the family who wants them released. I know that they met with Kim Kardashian. But I think the meeting was with the Kardashians, because in order for him to get elected, he's going to need money. He's going to need notoriety. He's going to need people to get behind him. And who has social clout like the Kardashians? Remember, that's what happened when Mayor Karen Bass was running against Ron Caruso, the billionaire who went from a Republican to a Democrat to win. He ended up losing, but he had the support of Kim Kardashian and Snoop Dogg. A lot of people thought, oh, he must have paid for it. Well, we know how politics work. Why? Because I'm the councilman. Well, Kim Kardashian applauded the district attorney, and this is what she said. She said a lot. I'm going to let y'all read it real quick. But, you know, she was saying that they were granted a second chance at life and will wake up tomorrow finally eligible for a parole hearing, which means she knew. Now, here's another picture of what she said. Eric and Lau are immediately eligible for parole now that their sentence has been reduced to 50 years to life. In 2015, a bill was passed in California allowing individuals sentenced to life in prison before the age of 25 to seek parole after serving 25 years. They gonna get out. And Kim is going to support Gascon in his reelection. Remember I told y'all that, because I'm going to come back here and show you.
I didn't even think about that.
Prisons, politics, it's all a business, which I'm learning. So anyway, we'll see. Goodbye. We cannot afford another 4 years under Donald Trump. Last time he was in office, the amount of black Americans without health insurance spiked and our unemployment rate skyrocketed. Not to mention his botched response to COVID-19 cost us our lives and our businesses. And on a personal note, my sister was one of those people who died from COVID-19. His Project 2025 agenda would make things even worse. He plans to cut Medicare, Social Security, and overtime pay, raise our taxes while giving tax cuts to billionaires, and grant blanket immunity to police officers who commit crimes. Our lives and the livelihoods of all of us are at stake in this election, and we need to show up, and we need to vote for Kamala Harris. And although this is paid for by Harris for president, I agree with everything I just said. All right, Lil Nas X and Azealia Banks are beefing. I should unblock you, Azealia, because I got her number.
She's blocked.
Yep, her text messages were like this long.
No.
And then, I mean, she just, when Azealia goes, I did give her my number, and, it was interesting for a weekend, but it was just too much. So I did block you. But I like the fact that Azealia does like me. She doesn't believe I'm fair or would be fair to her, because I think she just has such a toxic relationship with social media, and that's because she's always saying something wild. Mm-hmm. Well, Azealia Banks and Lil Nas X both went viral last week as they dragged each other, claiming the other has fallen off. And things all began when Azealia Banks tweeted that Lil Nas fell off so hard, and here's what Azealia said and Lil Nas's clapback. She said, she said, Lil Nas X really fell off so hard, laughing my fucking ass off. That little she said Lil Nas X really fell off so hard. LMFAO, that little cunt rag swore she was the T. Bitch has no bars. Ha 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 ha. And then he responded by saying, Azealia, I could never make a hit song again. He said, Azealia, I could never make a hit song again, and you would still never. Oh, okay, I don't talk like this, so I have to start over. I'll just keep going. No, I'll just keep going. Fuck it. You would never steal in your bussy soap selling chicken sacrificing botched body hating ass miserable life reach a 10th of my success. I love your music, by the way. Mwah. Laughing my fucking ass off. This fucking overgrown twink don't make me release them gay ass photos of you mocking the LA Crips with that little white boy you hired on Rent, man. You'll get your top blown off real quick, bitch. Don't fuck with me.
What the fuck?
Me reading these tweets as a councilman puts my political career in jeopardy. Just so we know.
They're gonna take that out of context.
Oh, they may do a hit, oh my God. Azealia clapped back and told the overgrown twink, not to fuck with her. Look. Laughing my ass off. You have to pay dirty little nobody ass white twinks to fuck you. I will spit in your mouth. Fuck it. Watch yourself, you burnt bitch. Okay, I don't know you, Lil Nas X, so I'm not going to defend you. Go back to the next tweet. Bitch, I'm not about to argue with a late F. You made the white gays, made you a minstrel, fucked you in every hole, and tossed you off a bridge. Go soak that bleeding asshole in a tub with some white vinegar. You'll be all right. Hold your head, ma. Lil Nas X. Well, she wasn't done. Look. Oh, well, she said what she said. Well, Lil Nas X then told her to drop this internet bully act. Look. Sending you love, Azealia. Wishing you nothing but guidance and clarity. I want you to chase your dreams. Get on your shit. It's the best time period in music for your art to thrive. I don't care what you fuck shit you say about me. I want to see you win and shine your light. You can drop this internet bully act at any time. Your fans love you. We love you. Well, he got a call from his publicist or his team and said, please, you're not going to win. And let me tell you, Lil Nas X, I understand, because no matter how crazy her tweets are as a black man, even if you're confused or in some way got a press and curl that make you think you're Zendaya with a mustache, I don't care. You will never win in an argument against a black woman, because I, in my own campaign, am having a black woman literally lie to the constituents, lie to our neighbors, lie to the community, making all these false allegations. Well, actually, I defended myself when they believe me. I don't know. You in trouble. I'm glad you let it go. Azealia, I want to see an episode of Ayanla Fix My Life starring her. How do you think that would go?
Not well. I don't think Ayanla can fix that.
And Azealia, when we were on Wild 'N Out together, you had a whole breakdown moment where you got emotional talking about how you were treated as a dark-skinned girl, as a black girl, yet you're sitting here calling him a burnt bitch. Like, come on, ma, make it sense. Just go get some chicken bones from Food for Less, rub them together, and pray that Santa Maria gives you guidance, because I can't agree with you on this one. You're being a mean girl. Being a mean girl. I'm going to block you, though. Bye. Kamala Harris has been working for years to improve Americans' lives, and she has made real gains for black Americans specifically. She helped strengthen the Affordable Care Act, nearly doubling black enrollment. She helped to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors, and under her leadership as vice president, black small businesses like mine are growing at the fastest rate in 30 years. She understands there is still a lot of work to be done, which is why she plans to cap the cost of insulin at $35 for everybody, to deliver $50,000 tax deductions for small businesses, and give $25,000 in down payment assistance to first-time home buyers. Now, Election Day is on November 5th. Let's vote for the candidate that's been fighting for us. Vote for Kamala Harris. This was paid for by Harris for President. Speaking of Wild 'N Out, Nick Cannon is reflecting on Mariah Carey because, of course, you know, they belong together. That's her song, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I met Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon at a Diddy party.
When they were together?
Yeah. They weren't at a Diddy freak off. Oh, they were at the Diddy
all. They weren't at the
right.
After Dark.
No.
Got it.
Well, Nick Cannon is revealing what caused him and Mariah Carey's marriage to end in 2008. It's like so long ago, like 16 years ago. I don't know why we're still talking about it. But anyway, he said they got married. They had twins, Maro and Moroccan, then divorced in 2016. Okay, so they've been gone for about 9 years. Well, here's a photo of the family unit together. Take a look. Cute, cute, cute. Both kids have lots of personality. Well, he got vulnerable on Ray Daniels' podcast. Nick Cannon admitted that he essentially felt small. He felt insecure, and that he was emasculated, or at least he felt emasculated in his marriage with his superstar wife. Now, think about it. Mariah Carey, biggest artist in the world. Nick Cannon, in his own way, a big star, but at the time, he was a star, but he wasn't as big as her. So I could understand how he probably felt that her fame was eclipsing him. And there are times where you. Relationships like a Cardi B, who's a superstar, and an Offset, a Whitney Houston and a Bobby Brown. Yeah, you see relationships like that where you have one star is bigger than the other. Sometimes it may even be a man and be bigger than a woman. I don't know. Either way, that's how he said he felt. I wonder if I dated somebody, would they feel, you know, because people always say, why don't you date somebody more successful than you or successfully? I don't know where those people are. We're all ambitious and we all just want to be ambitious. None of us, could you imagine me dating somebody like me?
No, that would end up in a homicide.
Well,
That is a nightmare.
You think?
Yes, you need someone opposite of you.
So somebody from a third world country that don't speak English?
The less English, the better.
No. Well, si se puede. I love the fact that Nick is so vulnerable and open to sharing his thoughts. Does that make a man weak when he shares his vulnerability?
Yes, I feel like when he feels small by you, it's just this interview showed more about Nick's character than I feel like it did about Mariah. Like it was more like negative press for him, because why does that bother you?
But I see it on the other hand. We need more black men, more men to feel comfortable, to be vulnerable, to say how they feel. Because a lot of you men, it's your ego that ruins relationships or that ruins stuff because you allow it to enter the room and take over and take control. And I think if more people felt safe enough to share how they feel, then we'll have less broken homes, because that doctor said that this is a broken home, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need her on the show. What's her name? Dr. Bryant. That's what Dr. Bryant called you. Yeah, I didn't call you that. But either way, Nick, I love your vulnerability. I do think that after, I don't know what year it was you decided to go on this baby making spree, though, because that thing has been in action for years.
So do you feel like him feeling like Mariah was bigger made him just plant his seed in everybody that was like,
no, I mean, I think at some point Nick will tell that story of why he felt the need to procreate as much as he did. I love the fact that he is an example of how you can have a lot of kids and take care of them all. I don't know how he has the time. Plus, he has lupus, so I don't even know with health-wise how he's able to stay so healthy and, you know, still do so much. But Nick Cannon is going to go down in history as the one that did so much for the culture, who did a lot for his family, who did it with respect, who stood on what he believed as a black man. I don't think Nick gets a lot of credit. Nick is actually, or I think he was a recipient of the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Award the first year. He just didn't show up. Maybe we can recycle that thing and re-give it to him at another time.
We did give him an award on the show, though.
Yeah, that Mandingo. Nick, are you using honey packs, or is that just natural ginseng? Like, what is it that just that thing be ready to go? I can't wait until you guys see the podcast I did with Nick, because in the show, he actually talked about the time that Orlando Brown said that he gave him head. The funniest interaction between me and Nick at that time. Because see, when I first went on the Nick Cannon Wildin' Out show, I was like Jason Lee. You know, I wasn't wearing. Now walk in the room, I am Jason Lee. So I told Nick everything I thought about him right at that moment. So go tune into the the Nick Cannon podcast. All right. Well, bye, Nick. Bye, Mariah. By the way, Mariah's Christmas performance at the Hollywood Bowl, I think is November 8th or 9th or something like that. I don't think I'm going to be in town. Maybe I will be in town. I'll go check her out. I haven't talked to her since her mother and her sister died on the same day. I did send her some beautiful flowers. So Mariah, we love you. And we still want you on the show. All right. I'm going to be like Kamala Harris right now and turn the page. Listen up. Trump and his loyalists are coming for our hard-won rights. The right to vote, the right to learn our own history, the right to live in safe communities, free of police violence and gun violence, and even the right to choose. It's time to fight back with our voices and our votes. We're going to send a clear message to Donald Trump and those that want to take away our rights that we're not going back. Election day is on November 5th. Vote for Kamala Harris. This ad was paid for by Harris for President.
See what you did there.
See what I did? Oh, my God. Child abuse is never a good thing. Chrisean Rock is back in the news after making serious allegations against her older sister, Latifah, who goes by the name of Tifa, or her middle name, Tesehki. Now, we all know that Tesehki is a superstar on the Zeus Network's Baddies. Well, she's in the super trailer of the Zeus Network's Baddie Midwest. Chrisean is alleging that she was, I'm going to say alleging,
allegedly
forced to perform oral sex on Tesehki when she was just 7 years old. Can we get to a day where we don't have somebody who's been molested or who molested somebody? I can tell you, as somebody who's been molested, I don't never have no triggers, but I will tell you, we talk about it so much these days that it is triggering. Listen to what was said. Take a look.
Remember when I was 7? You made me eat your... You said what? I'm done talking. Bitch, you're going to fucking jail. defamation of character.
You can't go to jail for defamation of character. You can get sued. But when you sign up for a reality show, you know that people can throw mud, and the mud slinging, we already know on Zeus Network, is going to be what it is. And Taseki, low-key, you kind of came to take Chrisean's spot because you were a guest star that then became the star when she got kicked off of Zeus. Now she's back on Zeus. And one thing about Chrisean, she does have that star thing that people have. And as much as people don't want to acknowledge it, she ain't going nowhere. Well, now Chrisean went into the show and dropped the bomb on you. Now old videos began to surface of Chrisean hinting at her claims against Taseki a long time ago. Look.
You caused me way more heartbreak. I'm not gonna speak about before this, bro. Straight up. I'm making moves, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Of course you won't have haters, but the same hater been there my whole life, which is my sister. I went homeless my senior year, had to move my boyfriend. I'm not going to speak on what she did, but all my family, 12 siblings, other than her, can vouch that she's a liar and that she's jealous. Swear to God. But Tifa, you this, you that, you make sure we straight, right? You telling the whole world that, right? But where Lil Petey at, y'all? And why he not staying with you? Because he know who you are. Nobody want to stay with a nigga. I want to expose you who you really is, nigga. My mom, she been said to stop with Tifa. Left voicemails on my phone saying how Tifa evil. Tifa this. You gonna go down. I don't have a real relationship with my sister because when I realized when I got older, she didn't really fuck with me. Too, when we was kids, she was a fast individual, bro. Ask her about when she wanted to play house. No, because she acting like motherfuckers ain't really trying to touch me. Like, we don't like each other because our childhood, bro. Don't be making shit up. Like, yeah, we forgive you and all this other shit. We don't talk about what happened. And now you're trying to like make it seem like something really happened, something really was going on. First of all, that's all TV. But if we'll be honest, I forgave you, Latifah, for a lot of shit and still forgive you.
Chrisean, you need to speak in straight sentences because I don't understand a lot of what that, but I know when you're worked up and you're emotional, you just get to talking. I still never really understand why you guys just go and talk to social media. Like, I get frustrated every day, but I don't go live and just start venting. Should I?
No, because they'll live forever. At least on Zeus, they're airing it out, but they're making a check.
Right. But could you imagine every time Cardi, you do that. Cardi gives, but Cardi, we live for Cardi doing that, right?
I love
certain people it makes sense for, but Chrisean, it's just ramble. And look, Chrisean, if you're speaking out about allegations that
allegedly
you were sexually abused, I'm going to give you a round of applause because in this Diddy world that we're in these days,
allegedly,
more people need to come forward, credible people, and I hope that you're credible. But if you're not credible, you should go to jail for defamation, even though you can't go to jail for it. Well, after Chrisean's claims went viral, the plot thickened once her and Taseki's sister Charity reposted an old IG Live they were all on, where Chrisean felt bad about her sisters experiencing childhood trauma and claimed nothing similar ever happened. Look, no one can pay me to lie or be fake. I'm not cut like that. It's not about how am I taking a side because I'm not being fake or lying this live. How long ago was this with us three before I got caught on my warrant? Taseki also shared their old IG Live and claimed Chrisean used her and Charity's trauma as her own for views on their upcoming season of Baddies Midwest. Look.
Not saying, but Tifa and you, Chastity, y'all went through some shit. Like, Yeah. Like, nobody never... You know what I'm saying? I never personally went through something that took my level, like my childhood away. The only thing that took my childhood away was like mommy always sleep and being at friend's house, but that's it. I don't know. I told my young self, it's okay to not be okay. But I don't know. What would you tell your young self, Tifa, to be more confident? I was blessed. Like,
So do you think this is just sisters who are jealous of one another? Do you think that this is ratings for the show? Because here we are talking about it. What do you think?
I think it's a lot of trauma. I believe Chrisean, and I feel like something must have happened to Seki too as a kid. I just feel like there's a lot of like baggage and a lot of trauma that they have. And I love Zeus. However, I don't think that's the right place to put it. Obviously, they're going to be smart, and they use it on a promo. Like, this wasn't even an episode. They caught that moment and put it in a promo. Yeah. So everyone's going to start watching it, and it's just sad to have it play out on air.
Well, let me say this. Chrisean, you know I love you. Taseki, I love you from a distance because I don't know you yet. And Natalie, none, I don't love you, but we do need to have a makeup here on the show because you're mad at me, and I'm just mad at you for being mad at me. But I don't hate you like I don't. Well, you know. I actually love Natalie. Natalie, me and Natalie go way back. She just mad because somebody came on the show. Tommy came on the show and said that she cheated on her husband. That's why she mad. You know, because people feel like, oh, we go way back. You shouldn't do that. Well, I got a show to do. Just like you shouldn't have a show where somebody says their sister molested them when they did or didn't anyway. Mm. But let me say this, and I want you to do your thing, TikTok. I think I should host the next Baddies reunion. I should host the Baddies Midwest reunion because there's no better host. There's never been a better host of any Baddies show than me. I won't do it with Tamar, but I will do it. I would host the show. I did see recently that the Zeus Network, somebody posted who should host the reunion, and everybody was like, Jason. And I will even find a co-host to co-host with me, but I believe that I should be the host of the next and every future Baddies reunion. What do you think? Clap it up for that?
I would love that.
Right?
I think now with Saucy and Janisha, they do a great job, but nobody's going to gather them like you. Because they need to be gathered at that reunion. It gets unhinged.
I won't do them like I did Judy, because I was kind of mean to Judy. I like Judy. Judy's a fan of mine. She was cool. She drank out my cup. I was completely over the chaos that ensues, but now that I know that's what it is, I'll just, we just have to
lean in it.
Yeah, just have to lean in. Lean in. Lean in. All right. Now y'all fall back. Lean back. Goodbye. All right. It's time for Thoughts and Prayers. If only if we can do this every day, right? Election day is just around the corner, and we're finally nearing the finish line. The battle between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump will draw to a close, and after today's show, it's more apparent now than ever that who is saying, and just dedicated to leading all of us Americans. Kamala. Well, political jokes and roasts aside, we must get out there and vote for the right candidate and pray that our ballots make it to their destinations without interferences. Because they out there setting them ballot boxes on fire. The only thing that should be on fire is Donald Trump's invitation to the White House, because he is not welcome to another 4 years in office. Hell, we'll even take Kim Kardashian over Agent Orange. At least Kimmy is out here trying to put her status to good use and advocate for those without a voice. Whether you believe the Menendez brothers should be released or not, and speaking of being released, Chrisean is back on TV and going viral again. But this time, fans are left wondering if she's back to her usual antics or telling the truth about her family trauma and drama. Only time will tell. Just as it finally told us how Nick Cannon felt emasculated in his marriage with Mariah Carey. Despite his underlying insecurities as a man, they made a beautiful couple and 2 beautiful kids, a reflection of their beautiful love. Something Lil Nas X and Azealia Banks don't have. Well, good news is I love all of y'all at home. And thank you for tuning in every single week. That is it for the show. Make sure that you are following me everywhere on social media, where social media exists. You can download the podcast and you can watch us over at YouTube. Follow me on Hollywood Unlocked, The Jason Lee Show, and The Only Jason Lee. And until next show, we're out of here. Peace.
The Jason Lee Podcast.